Okay, awesome. I call this meeting to order at 7:03. Are there any additions or subtractions to the agenda? Alicia,
Can you strike ARC allocations, please?
Josh,
Hi, can we please strike capital contingency funding? Thanks.
Daniela,
Hi, can we strike travel grant mini fund allocations, please? Thank you.
Devon,
Hi, can you strike bag and also can you strike the last, the old business resolution that I have up, please?
oh, Devon, you said so you're not doing that resolution tonight?
No, I'm not gonna do it. I still haven't had a response from them. Obviously, they've been busy, so I'm just gonna like completely strike it.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. All right, if there's no other additions or subtractions to the agenda. Oh, wait, Jessica?
Yeah, did BOD programming get added? I think Dakota said he was bringing allocations to, I thought he said tonight, but
There is an email sent out. We might have to delay it to next week. Sorry.
okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure that you had it on your radar.
Wait, so is he coming or not?
No.
Oh, okay, all right. Awesome.
We're sorry, everyone. I think my internet cut out right when Divine was speaking. So if everyone can say their strikes again or put in the chat.
Can everyone just re-raise their hand and let's just do it over just so we can make sure we got it?
Yeah. Sorry, everyone. My internet's really spotty right now.
Daniela,
Sorry, can we strike travel grant mini fund? Thank you.
Josh,
Can we please strike capital contingency funding? Thanks.
Alicia,
Can we please strike ARC allocations, please? Thank you.
and then Devon wants bag struck. And also you wanted the resolution under old business struck as well, correct? There we go. All right, can we get a motion?
I move to approve this week's agenda.
I second.
One motions, Daniela seconds, all in favor, please raise your hand. All right, by a vote of 14-0, the motion passes and the agenda for this week is approved. All right, next up, we have the minutes from last week's meeting. I hope everyone was able to review the minutes from last week's meeting. Are there any changes that need to be addressed regarding the minutes from last week's meeting? Going once, going twice. Oh yeah, we do need to pass 2 minutes. That's right, 2 sets of minutes. Okay. All right, so can we first have someone make a motion to pass the minutes from November 8th? And then what would that be, November 15th, correct, as well?
I move to pass the minutes from November 8th.
I second.
Eliana motions, Naomi seconds, all in favor, please raise your hand. All right, and by a vote of 14-0, the motion passes. All right, and now we need a new motion for November 15th.
I move to approve the minutes for November 15th.
I second.
All right, Phoebe motions, 1 second, all in favor, please raise your hand. All right, and by a vote of 14-0, the motion passes and the minutes from November 15th are approved. All right, now we'll be going into public comment. Public comment is a time for individuals from the Undergraduate Student Association to come and speak to council with any questions, concerns, or comments that they may have. So if you would like to be promoted for public comment, please raise your hand. All right, can we promote Clara?
I think, wait, Jessica, if you could make me host again. I think when I disconnected, I lost like all of my co-host privileges, so I can't promote Clara. Oh, okay, thank you.
All right. Clara, the floor is yours.
Awesome. Hi, guys. I'm Clara, Calvert Chapter Chair at UCLA. I just have our weekly update. So last week was Hunger and Homelessness Awareness Week, and it was really successful. We raised a lot of money for LA Food Bank, and we got food and hygiene items donated to the CPO food pantry. Also, our basic needs campaign coordinator, Katie, was recognized for all of her hard work last week. And she was the student of the week at the national level across all the student perks. So woohoo, go Katie. Also, we had our board elections yesterday. And CalPERG's board of directors is entirely made up of students, which is really unique among nonprofits, even ones that are like youth-based. And our board makes decisions on funding, hiring our staff, and also like which campaigns we run each quarter. And each school of all of our chapters has board seats proportional to how much funding that chapter brings in. So UCLA has 5 board seats. And yesterday was our elections, and Katie was elected as our vice chair. Also, we elected 2 new students to available board positions. So the 5 of us will represent UCLA at the state board later in December. And last thing is that something really exciting coming up next week is we're having our lobby day, and we're going to be meeting with a bunch of city council offices about policy to reduce plastic pollution from styrofoam in LA. And we're going to deliver all the support that we've gathered throughout the whole quarter. So that's what we're doing. Thank you guys so much for having me, and have a good rest of your meeting.
Thank you so much for coming. All right. Keon, is that an old hand? Okay. All right, does anyone else want to speak for public comment? Going once, going twice. All right, and I'll be closing public comment at 7:11. All right. Naomi just be laughing at everything. All right, let's go to let's go to funding. Next up, we got contingency programming. Josh.
Hey, everybody. This week, we had a total contingency request of $22,842.05, and we recommend an allocation of $10,010.11 for 21 non-USAC entity-related events. Discrepancy there, there was 2 events that applied for line items. They applied for $6,000 for line items where our maximum is $500 set by our bylaws. So that was why the inflated numbers are mismatched, but all the eligible funding we could allocate for, we allocated 100% of that, or close to 100% of that. So that's a discrepancy, and happy to answer further questions on that as well.
All right. Does anyone have any questions, concerns, or comments regarding that? If not, can we get a motion?
I move to approve the contingency funding for this week.
I second.
All right, Eliana motions, Naomi seconds. All in favor, please raise your hand. And by a vote of 14-0, the motion passes and contingency program is approved for this week. Next up, we have SFS allocations. 1.
Hi, everyone. So for SFS this week, we had one application requesting $1,000, and we recommend that allocation $1,000 to one non-CSC organization.
Thank you, Juan. And that is a consent item. So if no one has any objections, it is approved. All right, next up, we have SWC Programming Fund allocations. And
Hi all. So this week the SWC Programming Fund allocated $1,429.29 to non-SWC groups. And I'll also stick that in the chat.
all right, if no one has any questions, concerns, or comments about that, that is also a consent item, and so it is approved. Next up, we have ASRF allocations. Daniela?
Yes, hello everybody. So this week we allocated $3,037 from ASRF to one USAC entity and to two non-USAC entities.
Okay, thank you. All right, and if no one has any questions, concerns, or comments about that, going once, going twice, then that is also approved as a consent item. Next up is TGIF. Phoebe?
For TGF, we allocated $4,958.30 to two USAC entities and six non-USAC related entities.
Thank you so much, Phoebe. Does anyone have any questions, concerns, or comments regarding that? If not, then TGIF is approved for this week. All right, going forward, we have no special presentations tonight, so we'll be going straight into appointments. So just let me see, let's make sure we promote everyone who's going to be going up for an appointment tonight. Also promote Anna as well, the E-Board chair. All right, so just a quick rundown of how appointments go. So for all the appointees, when we call your name, you'll give your opening statement. We'll then open the floor for questions from council members. Once council members ask about 3 to 5 questions, we'll close questions from council members. We'll let you give your closing statement, and then we'll hear the recommendation from ARC, the Appointments Review Committee. Once we hear the recommendation from ARC, we'll do an open discussion amongst council members only, right? So that means council members will discuss, hey, I think this person is fit for the position. I don't think this person's fit for this position. ARC could give their specifics on why they voted a certain way. And then after that, we will give a vote unless it's tabled or for whatever reason. So first up, we have the appointee for the ASUCLA Communications Board. We have Kristen. Has Kristen been promoted?
Hi there.
Yeah, how you doing?
Oh, sorry. Did I just freeze for a minute? Sorry.
No, you're fine. We heard you.
Okay.
You're free to give your opening statement.
Okay. Hi there, everyone. My name is Kristen Weiss. I go by she, her, and I'm a first-year political science student. So the position I am applying for is UCLA Communications Board member. So why I feel that I'm a good fit for this role is because not only do I feel like I have the skills and qualifications for the role, but I'm also quite passionate about supporting student-run media. Now, to begin with my qualifications is I have a lot of experience doing budgetary planning and accounting in regards to being responsible for the allocations of funds and making a yearly budget. I got that experience being a treasurer for multiple clubs in high school. Therefore, from that experience, I feel like that I could definitely ensure that student-run media are following the budgets that they provide to the operations committee every fiscal year. Likewise, I feel like I'm very comfortable reviewing bylaws, policies, and reports. And this is because of my experience doing Model UN and writing numerous research reports in high school. And I feel like from that experience, I can definitely review policies with a lot of confidence because I had created background guides, drafted proposals, and did many research reports in high school. And lastly, that I actually was in publication in high school. I was the editor, founder, and writer for a medical publication during my high school years. And I feel like that I definitely feel that student media is such an important aspect of UCLA. And I definitely feel like I would be very passionate and always look out for the best interest for student-run media. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much for that. All right, and now we'll open the floor for questions from council members. First up, we have Juan.
Hi, Kristen. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I thoroughly loved reading your application, especially like as a first year, I believe that you bring so much diverse experience that intersects in such a unique way. So I actually wanted to give you kind of like a platform to talk a little bit more about kind of like your experience, since I know you in your application, you talked about working in the EVP and IVP office, as well as, working as a social media intern for the LA Mayor's office, and now going for this position. I wanted to give you the platform to talk about how all of these opportunities kind of intersect for you and where your passions lie.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you for reading my application, Juan. That's great to see that. So in regards to all of these different experiences I had, I'm actually very interested in the law field, but in high school, I was also very interested in graphical design and working for the government. So kind of intersected in a way that I'm just doing something I'm very interested in, which is graphical design. I love it. It's a passion, not a really a big career plan. But I feel like doing EVP and IVP were mostly because I'm very interested in working for the government in the future, especially in regards to policy. So that's why I joined that. IVP mainly because I wanted to work internally, especially with the students. I want to go into educational accessibility because I think that's so important, especially in regards to as a student of COVID, that it was really a big deal for a lot of kids struggling. And then for EVP, I really wanted to do outreach. While I am in the communications team, so not in relations, I still feel like that in some way I can definitely help, especially in regards that one of the things I already did for communications was I did the social media graphics for the strike, which I'm very supportive of, and I was glad to make that. And the social media internship was because, again, I wanted to work for the government, and I thought that was a great experience to learn just from professionals about graphics, but also realizing that the social media internship was working for something called Vision Lab, if anyone know what that is, but they basically make workshops for young people. And I was just very excited working for an organization looking out for youth LA individuals and helping them grow. So that's where all intersecting the fact is I'm just very interested in advocacy in government, and it's definitely a career possibility.
Thank you. Next up, Phoebe.
What do you think oh, by the way, that's a really great answer. I really love like your passion and like advocacy and communications. Very cool. Also love that graphic. It was great. Anyways, the question that I have for you is what do you think UCLA Communications Board does well and what do you think it does poorly? And then how do you want to solve that?
You know, reading the financial reports and meeting reports, I was very glad that you have for UCLA. I think they're really glad that they have professionals, and especially reading one of the meeting reports from earlier this year or earlier last year in June. I'm glad that UCLA is really looking out for diversity. Actually, in student publication, I was reading one of the meeting reports, and I saw that one of them made that point of view, and I think that diversity is so important in regards to student media. And I also think that UCLA does a pretty good job in regards to like the financial stuff. They do sometimes go over budget, but I think that definitely is a pro and a con for what they do. And so for that con in regards to sometimes going over budget, because sometimes student media has some issues, there's some unplanned events in regards to like renovations or like, for example, Prime by the Daily Broom just got brought up at one point and it was an unexpected publication that happened. I just feel like that in regards that UCLA could definitely work on trying to mitigate the unplanned expenditures so that they stay under budget for the different student-run publications. And for me, what I would do to alleviate that issue is probably make like proposals or petitions by the student run media like 2 weeks advance. If like they feel like something is coming up, they can definitely direct that to the board like a little earlier so they can just work out the budget sooner. If that yes, if that makes sense to you in regards to your question.
All right, thank you. And those are 2 questions. Do we have any other questions from council members? Going once, going twice. All right, if not, Kristen, you're free to give your closing statement.
Okay. Overall, I'd like to thank everyone for their questions and for having me here today. And I would just like to say that if I do become a board member in the future, I'm very much looking forward to continue to advocate and support the student media publications, as I think they're so important, as they are really the voice of UCLA students and really provide a platform for especially underrepresented minority groups and non-traditional students, because you have FEM, La Gente, you have all of these different publications, and I definitely want to continue supporting them. And I also feel like that that we can definitely always do more in regards as for the board, for the communications board, of try to outreach more to like underrepresented students to get their voices and concerns. And I feel like transparency and accessibility are so important. And I feel like UCLA can definitely do more for that. And I hope as a board member, I can increase that maybe through transparency reports or definitely workshops for underrepresented representatives, and to talk with student-run media so that there can be more of the voice of underrepresented students and their concerns, because while meetings are public, not a lot of people go to them, and I definitely want to bring awareness to that. So thank you all for having me today.
Thank you so much for coming. All right, can we hear ARC's recommendation?
Yeah, so ARC approved Kristen with a 3-0 vote.
Okay, and now we'll open the floor for discussion amongst council members. Naomi?
Yeah, I just have to say, like, Kristen, you were like one of the best interviews I've like had the chance to see in ARC. I just wanted to say you came very prepared, you're very knowledgeable, you did your research, especially as a first year in this position, like applying for this position. I was so impressed with your knowledge and background and various internships and positions that you've already had. And I just want to commend you for that. That work that you're doing is so amazing. And I know that if you are given this position tonight, you're going to do such amazing things in this space.
All right, anyone else?
I'll also kind of piggyback off of Naomi. Kristen was really good at during her interview. She like, even though she's a freshman, I know we've discussed freshman like applicants before, she really did her research and knows kind of the inner workings of the UCLA Communications Board and has tangible initiatives to kind of revamp it. So I'm super excited for Kristen if she does get passed through council. She had really good initiatives.
Awesome, thank you. All right, anyone else? Going once, going twice? If not, can we get a motion?
I move to approve Kristen to the ASUCLA Board of Communications.
I second.
All right, I heard one motion, Alicia second. All in favor, please raise your hand. By a vote of 14-0, the motion passes, and Kristen is now on the ASUCLA Communication Board. Congratulations. All right, next up for the next 2 appointments, I know we promoted Anna. She wanted to introduce them. So these are her appointments for the EChair Board. I'm sorry, the Elections Board. So without further ado, Anna, the floor is yours.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Carl. Nice to see everybody again. I am bringing before you guys 2 of my choices for directors. First up, I have Caroline, and then I have Liana. I'm just going to say a few words about both because Palmer, the last year's chair, did that for all of us, and I really appreciated it, and I want to do the same for them. So Caroline is a third-year student from Las Vegas, Nevada, majoring in political science and double minoring in Asian American Studies and Film, Television, and Digital Media Studies. As Chief of Staff and Director of Endorsements, Caroline handles the endorsement hearing process and oversees the Elections Board regulations. Outside of the Elections Board, Caroline is active as a staff writer for Dear Asian Youth and Bruin Political Review, a managing editor for UCLA's AAPI Undergraduate Law Journal, and the Professional Fraternity Council delegate for Kappa Alpha Pi. Awesome to have you, Caroline. She is my choice for Director of Endorsements. And then Liana, my choice for Director of External Relations. Liana is a second-year student double majoring in psychology and political science on a pre-law track. In addition to Elections Board, she is also a member of the Global Development Lab and a writer for the Undergraduate Law Journal. And in her spare time, she likes to paint and read, as well as spend time with her family. Being born and raised in a country outside of the US, she finds it crucial to promote diversity and inclusion to equity. And as in this year, as Director of External Relations, it will be her priority to make sure that all students are informed about elections, including running for a position and voting. So thank you guys so much for hearing that out. I hope you enjoy their responses to your questions. And yeah, thank you guys so much for having us again.
Eliana, is that a new hand?
Yeah, sorry, it's a bit early for questions, but I'm just excited to talk with all these awesome people.
Okay, got you. And I see that Leon is still getting ready, so we'll let Caroline go first. So yeah, Caroline, you're free to give your opening statement, okay?
Oh, okay. Thank you. Sorry. Anna already gave like an introduction to me, so I guess I'll go as well. So hi, everyone. My name is Caroline Sue, and I am a third-year poli-sci major, Asian American Studies and Film and TV minor, and I use she, her pronouns. And I'm applying to be the USAC Director of Endorsements / Chief of Staff for the upcoming school year. So I believe that I'm a good fit for this position because I have extensive knowledge about the student organizations on campus. So as the Director of Endorsements, it is my duty to inform student organizations about the candidate application packets, endorsement hearings, and voting during election week. And for the past 2 years here at UCLA, I have noticed that the student orgs that do participate often come from the same social circles or spheres and thus lacks diversity. So as someone heavily involved on campus in a multitude of organizations, my goal is to increase participation from student orgs that do not participate in endorsements in the past, such as smaller and lesser known clubs and STEM-based orgs, so that this way our votes for candidates and the endorsements can truly represent the student body.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right, now we'll open the floor for questions from council members. First up, we got Eliana.
Thank you so much for coming through, Carolyn. You're very qualified. So I guess my number one question would be, how are we gonna just probably, first of all, what are some of the particular techniques you're planning on using for outreach, and also what's your plan for ensuring just overall smoothness of function? Because like there's been incidents in the past when there just weren't endorsement hearings and we're only a handful of endorsements in the whole election. So what's our plan for like keeping stuff functioning smoothly despite the tendency for some amount of drama to come up during elections?
Yeah, thank you so much, Eliana. So something I'm really big on is diversity in like the voting. I really do believe that the people that we elect should represent the student body to the best of their ability and truly be representative of all the students. So something I really want to ensure to get more voters or even more organizations to get endorsed is to reach out to the LLCs on campus, especially like in the dorms. And I also really want to get involved with like the transfer student community on campus, whether that's like the transfer student like housing. So I think it's the building Holly. I'd really like to also press out. There is like the Soul Leadership like directory. So I do plan on sending out emails and getting them information prior and early in advance. And I don't know if it's too late for my position this year, but I'd like to set a guide for the person who takes on after me and creating a guide for them to start getting involved with the class of 2026 and 27 Instagrams so that we can get people involved in the beginning of the school year. I really think the reason why there's only a small handful of organizations endorsing is because they aren't as informed as early as they should be. So if we can get them at the beginning of the school year, we can ensure a lot more people getting endorsed and involved.
Great ideas. Thank you so much.
All right, next up is Phoebe.
I have a couple of questions. So one is, how will you support organizations planning endorsement hearings to ensure that they're successful? And then what does a successful endorsement hearing mean to you? So that's the first question. And then I'll type the second one after you're done answering this one.
Sorry, I'm a slow reader. Okay, how do you support? Okay, so I plan on supporting organizations who are planning to endorse hearings because I do plan on spotlighting organizations that do who are like common endorsers for candidates, because I really think that consistency is key. I also would like to reach out to the other organizations on campus because I do believe they have really big say on the other clubs on campus. So if they see them other organizations follow in one way, they can all follow the example. So to me, a successful endorsement hearing is one that is drama-free, or one that I can really see the organization really does believe in the candidate they're endorsing. I'm really big on people doing things with intention. So to me, if I can tell that they're not doing things for the motion or just doing it through a slate, but because they truly believe in the candidate, then I'll consider that successful, because it means that the ones they are endorsing are truly representative of the student body.
Oh my God, I love that answer. I feel like sometimes like with politics, it's hard to like really get people's like true like thoughts and beliefs. So totally feel you for being genuine there. The second question is also about like getting more like smaller organizations involved with endorsements throughout the last election season. I know that my team struggled a lot with getting smaller organizations to like not even like, I guess like want to be involved, but like some of them like straight out said that their organization didn't feel comfortable with endorsing because they didn't want to.
Oh, sorry. I think it might have been on my end.
Said that they didn't want to endorse them. No worries, I can say it again. There's just like some organizations that said that they felt uncomfortable, and oh my God, it said my internet is unstable. So just let me know. Oh no. Okay. Let me see if I can like write it.
Okay, yeah. So I definitely do hear you. This is definitely something that is pressing. To me, I feel like the reason why a lot of smaller organizations do feel uncomfortable with endorsing is because they it's so foreign concept to them. So I really do believe if we can get the smaller clubs on campus more involved in the beginning of the school year, they're more eased into the idea of endorsing someone. I also believe that it does come with just overall like candidates or encouraging people to run. So as the whole elections board does, as an elections board, I know that the goal is we want to have more candidates run. So there's no unopposed positions, or there's more positions for like each one. I'm hoping that because of that, there will be at least one candidate that they feel comfortable in. But I also want to create like an anonymous feedback form. So if there is a certain reason or nature that some of the candidates are making organizations feel uncomfortable, I do feel like that is a concern that elections board should know about, so that we can bring it to the rest of USAC in case we do need to take action. So I think I will tell them, sorry, that was a very runaround answer, but I think I really would tell them that endorsing, like, again, I only want them to do it with intention, but if there is a specific reason why, we're more than happy to first hear about it. It can be anonymous if they want, just so we can work around to see if there truly is not a candidate they'd like to endorse, or if it's something that it's on the candidate's end.
All right, awesome. Thank you. And I think, does anyone else have any other questions? All right, if not, Caroline, you're free to give your closing statement.
Awesome. Okay. Well, first of all, thank you all so much for giving me the opportunity to come here today. I know it's a really busy holiday season and midterm. So first, have a good Thanksgiving after this and a good Black Friday season. But I I'm really looking forward to working with the rest of the elections board and USAC this year, if elected, to create a good and fair space for the elections and one representative of the student body. And I'm really excited to see all the things that we accomplish together.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming, Caroline. All right. Art, can we hear your recommendation?
Yeah, so ARC approved Caroline with a 3-0 vote.
All right, awesome. Does anyone have any questions, concerns, or comments regarding this appointee that they would like to bring up? All right. If not, can we get a motion? Please.
I move to approve Caroline to the Elections Board Directorship of Endorsements.
And I'll second that.
All right, one motion, Keon, second. All in favor, please raise your hand. Somebody get kicked from the meeting?
Sarah got kicked, yeah.
Okay. Is she a panelist right now?
She's
No, okay. All right, she'll just hop back. Okay, by a vote of 13-0, the motion passes. And Caroline is now the Elections Board Director of Endorsements. Congratulations.
Thank you all so much. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you. All right, next we have the Elections Board Director of External Relations. Liana, the floor is yours for your opening statement.
All right, so good evening, everyone. Thank you to the council for this opportunity to interview, and thank you, Anna, for the introduction. So my name is Liana Hartunian. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I'm a second-year double majoring in psychology and political science. I'm applying for the position of Director of External Relations in the Elections Board for this year. Being a staffer for the ER department in the previous year has supplied me with valuable experience in outreach, which I'm planning to further improve and implement in the context of elections. And I am passionate and dedicated to forming meaningful connections with various campus entities, as well as diverse ranges of individuals, from students to professors to faculty, in order to promote elections and increase voter turnout, which makes me a good fit for this position. Thank you for your attention.
All right, thank you so much. All right, now we'll open the floor for questions from council members. Phoebe?
Hi, thanks for coming in. Oh my gosh, it says my internet isn't stable again. Can people hear me?
I
Okay,
can hear
cool.
you.
Nice. Do you think that the current council and last year's candidates are representative, or like were representative of the UCLA student body? If not, how do you plan on resolving that through your role?
So I do believe that this year's council is pretty representative of the student body in UCLA. However, to make it more diverse, I am planning on reaching out to more organizations outside and just making sure that the members in these organizations are as well informed about elections and candidacy options as possible, just to kind of promote equality and equity in these matters.
Eliana?
Thank you so much for coming out here. What's your plan to increase the voter turnout in upcoming elections?
All right, so for me personally, I value quality just as much as quantity. So in terms of making connections with people, I am planning to kind of make sure that I put in the energy to make quality connections with people and with organizations and with faculty, to make sure that the word is spread out, that people are aware of elections and people are aware that they have the options to run and the right to vote, and that their voices, their voice needs to be heard in order to make a change in this campus.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, Naomi?
Yeah, I just want to give you some space to talk about like why you think you're the best person for this role.
All right, so the reason why I think I'm the best person for this role is because I, as an immigrant, have actually faced these kind of difficulties that came with not knowing as much as I could and not having as much information and knowledge about certain things, such as elections and voting in high school and in college. So as a person who's faced these difficulties, I want to make sure that everyone else has the resources and the abilities to actually be informed of elections and all the possibilities they could have by being involved in student government. Thank you.
All right. I said 3 to 5 questions, so we'll do 2 more questions. Milan?
Yeah, so I just wanted to ask a question. You mentioned increasing like voter turnout and kind of participation in elections. So can you give us a tangible initiative that you want to pursue if you are to get this position to do that specifically?
All right, so my timeline for that is the first thing I would be doing is getting a team who is diverse enough, which has diverse connections to organizations and diverse perspectives in order to get them all together and be able to spread out the message as far away as possible and to reach as many people as possible. And that's kind of like the first step that I'm planning to do. And also making sure that all of these organizations have the most cohesive information to deal with, and they can spread their message around to their members as well. And yeah, and the specific organizations that I really want to reach out to are the Transfer Student Center and -U Center for international students. And I'm also planning to reach out to a lot of SOL organizations as well. Thank you.
All right, awesome. And then last question, Daniela?
Yeah, thank you, Phoebe, for giving me the opportunity to ask a question. I was just wondering, how do you plan to engage individual students, especially those who may be disillusioned with USAC and just don't want to be associated with their student government? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your question. I have definitely thought about this a lot. And like I said, I am a person who values quality interactions a lot. And I've actually had this idea of going into classrooms and actually talking to students and, you know, having these actual interactions with them to make sure that these sort of human connections actually can ignite something in them to care for student government and politics, even if they're a STEM major, which is another issue. Like, we want to have more STEM majors in student government as well to be more representative of the student population. So yeah, that's kind of one of the things that I want to do, but also just, you know, being open to questions and reaching out as much as possible. And just even in my own vicinity, like personal vicinity, just spreading the message out, you know, we just it's all about just spreading the message out. And yeah, that's kind of like my idea. Thank you.
All right, awesome. Thank you. All right, Liana, you are now free to give your closing statement.
Again, thank you to the council for interviewing me this evening, sorry. Being an immigrant myself, I understand the struggles of not being exposed to critical information. Therefore, it is cardinal for me, especially, to strongly promote elections to marginalized groups, including minorities. I believe that my connections in organizations such as the Armenian Student Association and the Pre-Law Society are useful resources in communicating to the student body about elections. Additionally, I believe that both my majors aid in having connections to more than one field and consequently to more students. And lastly, I believe that real progress starts with my team. It is my vision to have a diverse team of individuals working in external relations who could raise awareness about USAC elections through their connections in their respective organizations, therefore giving leeway to a myriad of new opportunities to groups, including those who are marginalized, to be informed of our purpose. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right, moving forward. Okay, Art, can we get your recommendation?
Yeah, so ARC disapproved of Liana with a 0-0-3 vote. And I can also explain when council goes into discussion.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, let's go into that. So yeah, we'll be opening the floor up now for discussion amongst council members. So if anyone from ARC wants to explain the way they voted, and then we can just kind of start the discussion there.
Yeah, so I can start as chair of ARC and share what kind of we discussed based on Liana's kind of ARC interview, just to give you all context in case like council members don't know the bylaws. Liana's still able to come to council, even if we kind of give her a disapproval rating or disapproval vote, just because like just because we're not like the final body, she could still choose to come here if Anna chose to bring her, which Anna did. So just to give context into why, so the elections board director of external relations, I think Phoebe asked to put it in the chat, but I think this position manages like just clubs and organizations and trying to get them kind of involved with elections. And I think this is just we think it's a super important position for a qualified and passionate person to be a part of, because the main criticism that we had last year was that there was not a high voter turnout. So we wanted a director who is driven towards making tangible change and has a vision to make this change. So we were expecting a more like thought out and detailed explanation of her initiatives, which is why I asked the question that I asked today. And I know that she mentioned that she wanted to contact more clubs and spreading more resources and name some clubs, but we wanted more on like what she specifically will do to reach out to these clubs and get these clubs involved, because many people can say that they want to do these things, but it's hard to like actually make any tangible explanations on specifically how to do these things and how these things would like improve elections. And I think from her kind of answers in ARC interviews and then maybe a little bit tonight, we feel like it wasn't very concrete. There weren't any like explanations that, or any kind of answers that were really, really concrete and kind of offering tangible change. So we were kind of unsure of her ability to like effectively reach out to clubs and encourage people to participate with initiatives that she has planned, which she could definitely work on, but we were just looking for someone who kind of has those ideas developed already, because this is a really, really important position, especially because voter turnout is super low, and that's the main criticism of elections board. She also mentioned like many different smaller clubs. I think she was really, really focused on South Campus and South Campus clubs, but we also wanted to hear about like maybe smaller humanities organizations or smaller cultural organizations or other like individuals who don't get as much information about elections as kind of previously. Like, so we were just looking for a little bit more depth to her answers. So yeah, that's just our explanation, kind of what we think she could have improved on. But Naomi and Hansika, who are the other two members, feel free to expand.
Can I go ahead?
Naomi?
Sounds good. Yeah, I do want to agree with the points that were just made. Also want to add on that we are the first people that are the interviewers, and just being prepared for that interview is also something I really value when looking at candidates. Like, did you take the time to put in the effort to make an opening statement? Did you take in the time to really like express your ideas? And even though there was improvement, which like somewhat highlighting some ideas tonight, having that first opportunity in the interview with ARC is really important for our candidates, especially in positions like these. Also, like was just highlighted today, even the plans mentioned tonight aren't as concrete as I would have preferred. Like we mentioned, going in the classrooms, STEM majors, I feel like a lot of the words that were used tonight were really decoratory. And I really hate to say that, but it was just kind of like using words that would appeal to us. Like it reminded me of UCLA as a whole and how we like on our brochures, we're like, oh my God, we have so much diversity. Like, but in actuality, like we know that's not really the fact. So definitely like taking the time to really think through the ideas and initiatives that you want to propose is something that I extremely look for in this role. As was just mentioned, this is really important, as this was like the main critique of last year. Like our turnout was really poor, really piss poor. And so, yeah, that's all I had to add. But if Hansika wants to go next, I'll go ahead and pass it on.
Hi, yeah, thank you so much. No, I didn't attend the interview in person because of a class conflict, but I did read over the notes that Naomi and Milan both took in the meeting. And through just like reading those notes, I felt like her answers to, like, there was a lot of complacency coming through, because it's like, it almost felt like she was not prepared. And just because, you know, there has been like prior experience in that role, it's just like it's just natural that you will get the role. But there was no like kind of urgency or like passion or preparedness that came across to me personally. And I didn't hear her speak, but I just read through the notes, and I feel like that itself like brought out that emotion, at least to me. So that's why I also voted no. And like Naomi said, I really agree that preparedness for that interview, even if like we don't expect people to come in with like the best plan of actions, but even like some kind of ability or some kind of idea that shows that you are passionate about actually putting through this position, and actually just have any kind of vision in mind, shows that even if that vision is wrong, just shows that you care. And that is something that we as a body did not see, and that's why I guess all of us voted no. And that's about it.
All right, thank you, Art. Okay, does any Anna, I'm sorry, Anna, like this is like a discussion amongst council, so I will have to like after this. Does anyone else want to speak? Does anyone else have anything to say? Any council members from tonight who first time speaking with her from tonight want to say anything or what?
I do want to mention that, like, you know, some of the ideas were like pretty cool though, in terms of like, you know, reaching out to the Dashu Center and like really looking for quality interactions and conversations around elections just to get people comfortable with the ideas. I think those are still like really important to, like, they're like the first steps, I would say, for like external relations to take. But I do agree with like everyone else that I think there needs to be a little bit more strategy beyond awareness of elections. I think there are a lot of students that are aware of these elections, but will not participate because of their perception of the elections. And I think that's like another barrier that like would have to be considered too. Also, like I just wanted to say, I know that my question was a little bit hard about like, do you feel like, you know, current USAC board and like our candidates from last year were representative or not? And that was a difficult question to answer, but I did wish like there was like a more like thought out response, instead of like just like quickly affirming like, yeah, like USAC is diverse and representative. I personally don't know that we represent the student body like very well. So
Eliana.
Thank you. Yeah, I just want to say I appreciate what everyone said. And kind of want to add, I feel like it would be ideal if people would kind of be like there's a need for preparedness, and I feel like there's definitely a need for preparedness for like scandals, to be honest, messes, because that's happened enough times that much as we might hope it won't. And yes, God, if you're listening, please let there be no scandals in the future, but it'll probably happen again. So I feel like it would be a good idea for an election board to like make a plan for how you're going to deal with the scandals, to be honest. So like, I'm sorry, that's more of a generic comment, but I guess it does kind of emphasize the need for preparedness in this field.
All right. If no one else, does anyone else have anything? Okay, Theodore.
Yeah. I think just to give the candidate benefit of the doubt, I think at least she, like, in this position, because this subject is sticky. It's a sticky situation. It's hard. Like, how do we address something that really does affect the entire student body the most? And I rather, just to give her the benefit of the doubt, like she didn't, tell us lies, or she didn't tell us a plan that she actually didn't have. Like I think she just gave it her best. Like, she's going to give us like the best that she knows and the best that she has, and she'll put it forward to us. I think, including myself, I don't think anyone here really knows what to do at this point, in regards to the voter turnout. Because like if this was like the most important, if we believe this is like the most important urgent matter that we have on hand, I would, if it's myself or anyone here, like I would implore any of us to drop from our current position and then take up this position, because I really think it's just like everyone here is making a good point. Like, it has to be really thought out. It has to be taking your time, and it has to be concrete objectives to go after. But I think at the same time, like, I really think it's something that cannot be solved in 1 year. And so I'm not too broken, or I'm not too like hurt that like she didn't bring anything like concrete forward, because like who are we to really expect her to bring anything concrete forward if I'm sure like not really we can't really do the same. I'll be honest, like let's say if I'm gonna use like my perspective of like not having like experience with USAC, like basically I was that student who knew nothing about USAC, who really knew nothing about student government at UCLA, like the average, like, go to class, eat, study type of student. It shouldn't fall upon Carl, but like at the end of the day, like if I really want to be motivated to like vote, it's gonna take like the figurehead to really come out and push the student body. And so like I think Carl is our really best chance through him as like our figurehead, as our leader, to really like reach out to the student body and really make that change. Because I really like the student body doesn't know me, like the general student body doesn't, like know Phoebe, Anna, know Eliana, like you're like these are thousands and thousands of students. And so the one person that they really, if they do know any of us, it's most likely going to be Carl. And so since Carl's not going for this role, at that point, anybody else is always going to fall short, especially if they don't have a plan. And so like I want the candidate to know, like, it's okay if you don't get this role, like you're still valid as an individual. Like, it's not something that is going to be solved, at least this year, in my opinion. It's probably going to take a couple of years of conditioning for students to really get used to voting again. And so like don't feel downbeat that you got a 0 to 3 vote. But yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Theodore. Milan.
Yes, so I just wanted to clarify some things that were said about ARC. Definitely like what Theodore said, it's like we completely understand that you don't have to have like well thought, like completely like fully developed ideas on your like position and what initiatives you want to do. But I also wanted to bring up that we look for like passion in our candidates, and someone who like really is ready to take initiative and is ready to like make change and has kind of an idea of how to make this change. So you don't have to have fully developed ideas, but for ARC, especially for elections board, because we all as candidates have been in elections and like kind of have an idea of like what we would like to be seen like improve. And we know that elections board and elections have a lot that needs to be improved upon. Like we would like to see like a little bit more passion and a little bit more like, I don't know, like we wanted to see that you researched this position and that you kind of know and have an idea of what you want to do in this position. And also I think we've mentioned that Eliana was also a part of elections board last year. So we were kind of hoping for a little bit more kind of like more concrete initiatives. We completely understand that all students are still like working, and it's a really, really large kind of bureaucracy that we all have to learn and kind of improve, and definitely you could learn like through that. But we were just looking for a more like strong foundation, if that makes sense. I will let everyone else speak now.
Yeah, Daniela.
I think I just want to echo what Milan just said in response to Teddy's concerns, because especially that last point about Liana having had the opportunity to engage with elections board. Like, by no means am I shooting down that the things that she brought up tonight are important things and that she brought good ideas. Like Phoebe said, they are good first steps. but they just need more development. And I think that USAC and other factions of like student government do offer to some extent opportunities for students to develop those. But for people who are going to run for positions that are then like stipended and lead entire committees, there needs to be more concrete, tangible steps, which is something that I think I would like to look for as well in whoever we appoint. But yeah, that's pretty much what I want to say. Like, Liana, you had really good ideas. It's just a development. I would love to be able to see how we can grow in that regard.
Juan?
Yeah, I want to echo with what my with what Naomi, Phoebe, and Daniela said. I want to just kind of like address the awkwardness and the tension where like this is the first time this year with appointments that we've had a situation like this. So this is like a learning opportunity for all of us. So we really, what I really want to call for is like just make sure that this like is a learning opportunity for all of us. We're all in uncomfortable situations right now. And it's like like even putting like I want to honor and trust Anna's judgment and putting forth this appointment consideration for us tonight. So thank you so much, Anna. But yeah, like I don't know. I think I'm just as uncomfy with all of this as you all, but like my council members have mentioned, we're very passionate this year, just looking at from our election, we want to improve for sure for next year. So we have to push through this uncomfortableness, unfortunately. So yeah, thank you.
All right. So it seems like while everyone's bringing up the ideas that are needed for this position, it seems like most of the problems with this appointee is more of like she wasn't passionate enough. She didn't show any like effort for the application. Is that mostly what ARC is kind of saying? And the individuals who interview her beforehand, like, is that mostly what it is?
No, it's not just passion. I don't think. I think the way that we voted, we just wanted to see like more developed ideas. It's not just passion, but also like maybe a competency for the position, and like kind of we wanted to see that she kind of looked into it a little bit more and like seeing her foundation for it. I don't know how you all feel about kind of the council interview, but that's how ARC felt about our interview. And everyone else has their own kind of, everyone's valid in the way that they vote. But that's just like ARC's kind of recommendation and like where ARC stands.
All right. Well, I think at the end of the day, obviously we're gonna put this to a vote. So I think everyone should just kind of keep in mind, obviously what ARC said. Also keep in mind, like Juan brought up a very important point of we want to kind of honor also what Anna wants, because it is going to be her leading the board at the end of the day. And so I feel like if she interviewed or worked with this individual before, obviously she sees something in her which could make her be relevant for this position. So let's keep that in mind as well. And yeah, but let's just kind of like keep all those things in mind as you cast your vote tonight, and we'll discuss this a little bit more. But I guess we're gonna go ahead and put this to a vote. So can we get a motion?
Carl, I think Anna was trying to get your attention in the chat. She wanted to say something. Yeah.
Wait, Anna, do you want to say something?
Yeah, if I could just have a few seconds. I understand that I don't have any pull here with you guys other than I met all of you. I have relationships with all of you from last year. I I just want to echo the point that a few of you guys have made about trusting my process. I hired Liana because of her past experiences on the board and because I believe that she has the tools to do this job that from my current pool of applicants, no one else does. I hired her because I felt she was the best candidate. Saher, the former director of external relations, is also on here as an attendee, and she is fully in support of Liana as well. I think you guys are maybe focusing a little too much on her nerves that she might have, and you're allowing that to overshadow the preparedness, the lived experience she has as someone who identifies with a marginalized community, and the special relationships she has with people already on the board. She has taken demonstrable steps in her position. You know, she is looking for staffers that, like she said, have a diverse range of opinions, have diverse experiences. And I just don't want you guys to make the mistake of rejecting her now and then, you know, creating a much more difficult process of finding someone that could hypothetically do the job better. So that's all I wanted to say. Thank you guys for hearing me out. Obviously I respect your guys' opinion. Thank you, Daniela, for giving me this platform. So yes, thank you guys so much again for having us.
Yeah, thank you. Naomi, I just seen your question. Yeah, Daniela had like brought attention to her, so I was like, okay, you know, do you want to let her speak? So that's why we let Anna speak. All right. So I mean, I guess without further ado, everyone's kind of already like discussed their piece and said their point regarding this. So, you know, obviously let's just put it up to a vote. And you know, we'll see what happens. So can we get a motion to, I mean, at least put up a vote for this, or you know, motion to approve or whatever, so we can go forward?
I motion to go to a vote for the approval of Liana in this role.
All right. Can we get a second?
Yeah, I second.
All right, Theodore motions, Eliana seconds. All in favor, please raise your hand. Okay. Going once, going twice. All right. All against, please raise your hand. All right. You lower your hands. And then all abstaining, please raise your hand. Wait, let me make sure. Devon, is that a new hand, Devon? Hello, Devon? Did y'all hear Devon?
It looks like an abstain based off of the timing of the hands, but I don't know.
Okay, yeah, she said, all right, abstaining. So, that is by a vote of 1 to 1 to 12, well, 1 to 12 to 1, the motion does not pass, and the appointment is not made. So, you know, thank everyone for coming tonight, you know, regarding the appointments, and you know, we'll you know, just continue to work with elections board to make sure that we get those positions filled. I think we kind of expressed, you know, some of the main points that are that some council members are looking for in regards to approving the next appointee for this. So let's just you know, keep that in mind, and you know, no one should, you know, feel bad or down or anything about that. You know, this is a hard process. And it doesn't mean that you can't apply to other positions as well, or even reapply. So let's just keep that in mind, and just like someone said earlier, use it as a learning point, and there's still time. So at the end of the day, Anna puts up the individuals that she wants to go up for these positions. So we'll continue to work with her. So thank you so much for coming, and we'll follow up with you and the elections board later. So thank you. All right, moving forward. Next we got officer reports. So I'll go, well, obviously I go first. So all right, so so today actually I spoke at the undergraduate. There was an undergraduate rally and an undergraduate rally for showing solidarity with the UAW strikers, and yeah, apparently went there and spoke at that. That was pretty awesome. There was a lot of undergraduate students there supporting, and so it was pretty awesome to see that. Last week I met with CFCC. It was our first meeting, so we just did updates on some of the problems. One of the main concerns, obviously, I brought up was the Wi-Fi. And so I don't know if I updated you guys. I forget because I updated my team. But basically, the Wi-Fi should be finished. From my meeting with CFCC, the Wi-Fi should be fixed, like back to normal by the time we return back in January for like winter quarter. Because on the Apple side of the house, they're waiting on a release from Apple that Apple says that they're going to release, but they haven't released it yet, and we can't force them to release the update. And then on the aspect of the Android side of the house, there's something called ITS, which is a company which is going to come in and they're going to update our Wi-Fi and also find some temporary fixes for the Androids. But apparently the huge Wi-Fi update that they're going to do is going to take years to happen. So bear with it for now. I know the Wi-Fi is horrible, so I kind of got my camera off right now. But in January, the Wi-Fi should be back to normal. All right. So yeah. Attended the Campus Safety Alliance meeting hosted by the IVP. It was a great event. A lot of shout out Milan, a lot of great talking in regards to safety of our students, and just it was a great event. So thank you for hosting that. Last week I was a panelist on an alumni town hall event, answered some questions that were emailed in by the UCLA student body, and there was other individuals in attendance. So thank everyone who came to that. Met with UCOP last week, and we discussed the agenda for an upcoming meeting with President Drake tomorrow. So we're going to be discussing the budget. We tried to put on the agenda the discussion regarding how unhappy we are that they're still currently on day 9 and of the strikes, and like nothing has been done. But apparently we're not allowed to talk about that because that interferes with the negotiation somehow. So yeah, there's that. But we'll let you know how that meeting goes. That's going to be done tomorrow with the other UC council presidents. I released a complaint feedback form on IG for feedback, and just in regards to the student body, I would recommend all council members do that. Just it's kind of like a little mini office hours, right? You just because you never know what there'll be some of the most random problems going on. So Eliana's released a mini complaint feedback form. So I recommend everyone does that for their sector of student government, just to hear back from students, man, because some of the most random stuff pops up. All right. Finalized plans for the Mardi Gras with my team. So we're going to be meeting with Vice Chancellor Mary Osaka, who has planned out the first Thursdays. Maybe the Mardi Gras will be like hey, we take over first Thursdays. It'd be a Mardi Gras themed first Thursday event for like 2 or 3 days, or for 2 days. It's going to be, we're looking to have it in Westwood, next to Barney's and next to Hibachi Poppy. Those 2 areas have some rides, carnivals, great food that's typically, eaten in Louisiana and stuff like that. Okay. And then finally, just an update. The interim police chief for UCPD was selected. There were two candidates. One was the current chief of operations, and another was an individual who previously worked at USC. He had retired, but he interviewed for this job because obviously it's an interim position, which means that it's only like a year long before they find the actual permanent police chief. So I had the opportunity to interview both. Felt like I think his name is John from USC. He's a Trojan, but he had the better answers. He talked more about diversity. He talked more about the campus safety plan and working with our school. So really recommended that he get hired, and he actually got the interim position. So yeah, and I'm sorry that was super long, but next up is the IVP.
Yeah, so for this week, for ARC first, we interviewed the applicant for UCLA Communications Board and also the Elections Board recommendations. And we're working on setting up the last meeting times for ARC interviews for the next week, because there are a few more Election Board recommendations that we need to oh, sorry, I saw in the chat for Danielle, but that we still need to fill. So they'll most likely be showing up week 10. For my office, so for student involvement, we're still working on the True Bruins Raise Awards event with the relief, or with True Bruins Raise. We're applying for funding for True Bruins Raise, and we have planned out the layout, food, and logistics of the banquet. So we're just waiting on some bureaucracy to happen, so we can confirm our reservation booking, so we can have this event for students. We're also working on the ASUCLA t-shirt contest with ASUCLA. So we voted on the top 20 last week, and now they're released on the UCLA store, so you all can see them here. They're the top 20 designs that students can vote on. Voting is open until December 2nd, so make sure to vote on your favorite design so that we can get a good design this year for the t-shirt contest that will be sold in the UCLA store. After that, we also have the Housing Relief Fund. And we're meeting with the UCLA Office of Scholarships and Student Support Initiatives to maybe revamp it and make it better than last year, because I know we worked with Spark last year, but this year Spark doesn't want to work with us for our campaign. So we might move away from Spark and work with this office to fund our Housing Relief Fund. And then for my Education Accessibility Committee, we're working on the off-campus living fair. We just booked Bruin Plaza for off-campus living fair. We're most likely going to host it week 3 of next quarter on Wednesday. If we get approved, we're applying for funding, and we're also reaching out to landlords and other housing initiatives on campus like Bruin Shelter and any other housing relief kind of organizations on campus that would be interested in tabling at our fair, so that students can have kind of the opportunities to see what other living opportunities and initiatives that there are. Like Carl said, we host our Campus Safety Alliance meeting last Thursday, where we just talked about different issues with regards to campus safety, and admin were able to be there, and also some council members. So thank you all to the council members who are able to be there or send proxies. And then lastly, our Transparency and Accessibility Committee are working on transparency reports for the IVP office that will most likely be released the beginning of next quarter as directors are wrapping up their fall initiatives. And that should be all, and I'll pass off to Divine.
Can you guys hear me? Okay, cool. Sorry about the first time. I got a new piercing. I can't put the AirPod in with the mic. But so this last week, there was a Regents meeting. Ignite was able to give their public comment and talked about their initiative that we're helping them with in terms of the rape kit accessibility. Multiple other folks were able to speak from our team as well and submitted written reports. The next round of BAG is currently happening. Hearings will begin Monday, week 10. Is that next week? Next week. Anyways, next week is week 10, so that'll be happening next week. Still doing signups for SOCC. Please push this out to everyone and anyone. It's a free trip. I mean, it's that's all I can say. It's a free trip to Sacramento. So if you can, or sorry, I think it's at Davis. So if you can, just push it out. And if you guys are interested in going, also please sign up. It's not restricted to USAC students. And then we are in contact with LA DOT, North Neighborhood Council, and are currently working on to discuss broader infrastructure issues. Northwestern Neighborhood Council is currently reviewing our suggestions for the Gailey changes that we suggested for the streets and accessibility. And we are working with FAC and TSR for interested in possible transportation related resolutions, and I'm also planning on attending the January Sepulveda community meetings to speak in support of a bellow grade heavy rail alternative for the UCLA. Again, I know those two specifically people are interested, but if anyone else is interested, I know a lot of you guys can talk about transportation. Please feel free to let me know. We had some team members obviously attending a strike and being in solidarity with the academic workers. We have a meeting with Assemblymember Bryan's office this upcoming Friday, and we are currently planning to work for UC Hill Day. And that's all the updates for me.
Awesome. Hey, Devon, so I'm sorry, you probably already answered. So are you just still waiting for a meeting for the resolution with the UAW strikers?
Yeah, so yeah, they just
not gonna
never
get it at all?
Well, I mean, I'm obviously would love to still do the resolution. I think we've all shown our solidarity verbally throughout the council meeting, but a form of solidarity would be cool. I just haven't had any response back from them. Obviously, there's been a lot. They've been doing a lot, so I'm not surprised by it. But again, just what I said last week, I don't really feel comfortable putting out any formal document without their approval first and without their acknowledgement of the words that we put on there. So that's why. But if anyone knows a direct contact, I could just quickly text them the document. Please let me know of the resources I've gotten. I haven't had any text back or email back yet. And Phoebe, yeah, it's for the local team. I can ask Evan to send it out to you. It's not like hidden or anything like that. So yeah, I can have him send that to you. Okay, cool, Eliana. I'll message you then. Hopefully it's not the same contacts. But yeah.
Okay, but yeah, I was gonna say, I just want, and I obviously, like, as a council and students, we all support them. Just wanted to officially put something down, so that, I didn't want like that being brought up in the negotiations, or which I doubt, but like I just wanted to like officially show solidarity with them, like with a document. So I have a point of contact as well that I can kind of send you. It might be a different person. It was actually one of my TAs. Just in case you're not, I know they probably got a lot going on right now. So thank you for like taking charge of that and drafting what you have so far. Okay.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, any contacts, and even if you guys just send it over, I know a lot of you guys are basically co-sponsoring it. So like, if any of you just want to send it over, if they have any notes or anything at all, or no notes at all, and they think everything's okay. But just the okay from them would make me feel a lot better than just like putting it out without full consent.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Next up is Gen Rep 3.
Hi, thank you so much. There's some exciting stuff. I'm working with Sarah, Kian, and Kian's chief of staff, Isaac, on this big engaged student engagement conference we're going to be doing to try and get like a few hundred students out talking about what's important to them, and also hopefully have some swag and food and stuff for them to enjoy, to hoping we can really get people's voices, help people get their voices heard this way, and help that more student power at this university. Also, my co-grants program is going well. I'm up to 3 applications, which are all very good. So we're planning on funding everything. So trying to get that money out, and shout out to our applicants, Urban Bruins, Afro-Latinx Connection, and Retention of American Indians Now. Very cool groups. So that's been exciting. Oh, I am working with Naomi, Phoebe, and Carl on the CAE stuff. So we've got meetings set up tomorrow, and hoping we'll get our shared governance, because it really improve a lot of people's lives. What else? Oh yeah, I'm working with the Disability Studies Department. I'm bringing out a really cool speaker, virtually, named Lydia Exie Brown. Amazing autistic disability rights lawyer, strategist, writer. So that should be fun. It'll probably be like it'll be like a class, but it'll be open to everyone. It'll be in winter quarter we're planning. Also, Denise Oliver Velez will be speaking a week from today, starting at noon. So come through, everyone. She's awesome. And feel like that covers it. I appreciate everybody. Have just always an honor working with y'all.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Next up, I know it says written report, but Daniela, you said you wanted to speak up about something.
Yes, just super quickly. So I had a meeting with Vice Chancellor Gordon on Friday, and I brought up seeing if there's a way that UCLA could issue some campus-wide guidance to students in preparation for Thanksgiving break, just in terms of like COVID safety. So he sent over a resource that's posted on the ASH website, and I think it would be great. He and I both thought that if USAC is able to utilize their social media platforms just to like create more visibility for it before students officially go off, it would be really helpful. So my graphics directors are working on that right now. So if it's not already ready to send out to you all by tonight, I will send it out by the end of tomorrow. So if you all could just post it on your social media, would really appreciate it. But thank you.
Awesome, thank you. All right. Whoa. Okay, next up, we got Community Service Commissioner.
Hi, y'all. So for currently this week, I've been working on reviewing the BOD applications for funding. Not easy, not easy. Not an easy feat. My heartstrings are being pulled by deciding who to fund and who not. You know, Phoebe and Sarah now. So we're working through that, which is so fun. I'm also for the Community Service Commission. We're also have our last meeting of the quarter next week, which I'm so excited and looking forward to. Our commission has done so much this quarter, and I'm so freaking proud of all of the work that we've done. And we're starting to plan and pick up some planning for the winter quarter. So over the next couple of weeks, we will be working on finalizing some of the ideas and plans that we have. One of them includes partnering with CalPERG on a fundraiser event for the LA Food Bank early next quarter, which I'll definitely heavily promote here in council and among each council office. Love CalPERG. What else? Oh, nonprofit networking night is also gonna happen in the winter quarter, and some of our directors, the internal program directors for CSC, have been working really hard to get the engagement off of that. We currently have 23 nonprofits registered, I believe. So if you know any nonprofits that might be interested in coming to the networking night, feel free to reach out to me so I can connect and build those bridges to get more offices. Wait, let me see. Yes, share with your offices. Yes, nonprofits is where lots of us are going to end up at, or might look in public service, you know. What else? Oh, no, that's it. No, kidding. SIOC, different committees. I've been working amazing with the amazing Archie to get all the, and Pam and Melissa from Soul to get the CS Mini Committee and Shrek Committee off its feet. I know we've had troubles launching that, but we're on it. So yeah, thank you so much.
Awesome, thank you. Next up, we have Facilities Commissioner.
Juan, not you projecting on all of us to work at a nonprofit. Excuse me. Oh, also wait, Juan, can I ask for a favor? If you're still deep in contact with SIOC, if anyone is interested in being Student Activity Center Board of Governors from there, I would really appreciate that, because I don't think that committee is functional right now, because yeah, we still need to fill those appointments. So I would appreciate your help with that if you have capacity. But yeah, my updates for this past week, I'm looking at my Google Calendar because I don't tend to remember things that I do. So yeah, great job, Milan, last week on the Campus Safety Alliance. I think it was a great meeting. I appreciate the organization in terms of getting us all to the table. The questions, the meeting agenda, very good. Just because I feel like I didn't do as much this week in terms of action and more listening. I guess I might explain what I learned. So that was kind of cool. one of the questions that interested me from the Campus Safety Alliance was the whole paid note taker system. So it was kind of nice to see that CAE like kind of had like a plan of like I've gotten those letters before that, hey, could you like be a note taker in this class? And I'm like, I mean, I would. And like, I'm sure other people would too, but it's just like, it's not compensated. I was a little concerned by that. I was like, oh, do they have a plan? So like, they kind of have like other like Otter and AI like systems to like help do live like transcription. But I think it's cool that like there was an openness there to like look into that paid note taker systems. Like they recognize the lack. So that was really great. The CFCC meeting that I attended with Carl, also super cool. Loved seeing everyone from campus events and events and transportation, government relations. Some of the fun things that I learned there are, oh my God. Okay, so unfortunately, Royce Hall is becoming more expensive to book. So a lot of the SOL advisors are gonna have to explain to a lot of like the cultural orgs that have cultural nights there why it's getting more expensive because of labor costs. And apparently like Royce hasn't like increased in price like over a couple years. So like, but still like it's a pretty significant cost for a lot of organizations that try to like use that space that is, you know, really important to our community on campus. Also, they talked about First Thursday on December 1st. So that's next Thursday. And apparently there's going to be like a iceless skating rink made of plastic. So that's cool. So people should go and like fall. That'd be kind of funny to watch, but you know, anyways, moving on. I'm sorry, you guys, these are not things that I did, but I feel like they're fun to know about. So I feel like people should know. The Green Initiative Fund has this new initiative called TJF Tokens of Appreciation. So students that are involved in sustainability work, whether that's with a student organization or elsewhere, that like are doing stuff for UCLA campus, can apply to up to $150 per quarter in brewing card deposit or gift card. So that's really cool. So if like, you know, people in your guys's like commissions or offices are doing like sustainability work, I do recommend you apply. You do have to like attach it to a project. So you have to like really show what your sustainability impact looks like on campus, but it's like just for like TJF to recognize student work that's happening on campus. Sometimes like students are putting in a lot of labor. We want to make sure that they feel appreciated. So whether you like apply on behalf of somebody and like surprise them, or like you yourself like feel like you're doing that work, I do encourage you to apply. There's no more TJF deadlines this quarter, but catch it on the even weeks of next quarter. And then building our space, one of our committees focused on space appreciation on campus, did a hot chocolate and like ice blocking event yesterday. And apparently Active Minds was there too. And it was so cute. We got a lot of strangers. That sounds weird, but like to like give them free hot chocolate, like they engage with the space. And it was like a really cool like finals week de-stressor. And hopefully we have more events like that because we have extra hot chocolate funded by TJF. But like also like to get people like understanding, okay, like maybe there's like benefits like being outside, even like, you know, like during finals week, really getting people like taking advantage of the physical spaces that we have on campus. Yeah, in terms of like other things, yeah, there's like the whole like CAE resolution thing happening on Wednesday. Unfortunately, I cannot go. So yes, thank you, Naomi and Eliana. And Carl, if you can make it to tomorrow morning at 9, I think, just like a meeting, like talking about CAE and like how we can increase student engagement in the hiring. Yeah, and then yeah, likewise for like with Juan, we have the budget review committee stuff. Like apparently there's like $300-something thousand that like people like applied for, but there's only like what 50-something thousand that we're allowed to allocate. So I don't fully know how we're gonna like deliberate very like thoroughly to make sure that we're equitable in our funding allocation, but we will try our best. And yes, that's my report.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, next up, we have Financial Supports Commissioner. Is Sarah here?
I think she did a written report in the chat.
Oh, okay. We just need to link that. All right. Let's see. Do we see the link to that?
I think she like physically wrote it out in the chat. If someone wants to
Oh, okay. I can just read it out. Okay, yeah, Sarah said I can't admit at the moment, so I'll just type my office report. We're planning a set of workshops with the BBRC centered around financial wellness for next quarter. We also started advertising for this event by reaching out to the mother orgs and are reaching out to different financial orgs on campus to collaborate with. We have gotten more discounts in Westwood and likely post about that either this week or next week on our Instagram. We're setting up a meeting with Gen Rep 3 to help Jewish students on campus. And then finally, we have our staff meeting tomorrow in the FSC office. All right, awesome. Okay, thank you. All right, next up, we have the Student Wellness Commissioner. Is this supposed to be written as well? Okay, yeah, it's supposed to be written as well, a written report. So yeah, let's just link that to the document, please. Thank you. All right, and then next up, we have the transfer student representative.
Evening, everyone. Just not too much. Essentially, I was able to get more people on my staff, so that's exciting. Next week, I have a meeting with the transfer success team, hosted by the director and the assistant director of the TSC. So I'm looking forward to that. And essentially, other than that, it's just students. We're just asking me general questions about when they will have their TAs back and why are some classes canceled and why are others not. And, you know, I just don't have answers to that. And so basically, I could tell a lot of people are confused and they're looking for an end or to see how this strike will end. And so I think right now is just a good time to be there for both the grad students and also for the undergrads. Other than that, have a happy Thanksgiving and take care.
Oh, thank you. Okay, thank you, Theodore. Oh, Eliana, I see your question. When are we sending out the student body email? Yeah, we're supposed to do that last Friday. I know a lot of people haven't added stuff to it. Let's try to get that in before, like, if you guys could do that before you like go on break or whatever for the holiday, that would be awesome. So let's just put a deadline of like, I don't know, let's just do like Thursday or Friday maybe or something. I don't know. Maybe we'll send it out by Monday or something. But yeah, let's try to get that out. So the email is literally like, it's going to go out to the entire student body and literally like just kind of, I'm going to have a little like resources tab and it'll be like, hey, all these offices are, hosting these things, or hey, fill out this survey from this office, or hey, this office needs individuals to apply to it for certain positions or for funding or whatever. Like, just kind of put that in the document that I share. For some reason, I know some of you it didn't like have you it didn't allow you like edit it. So I'm sorry about that. I think I changed it. So now that like if it was sent to you, you should be able to like edit it and do stuff to it. But if not, just text me and let me know, and then I'll update as well. Okay. All right. Now going for last but not least, we got International Student Representative.
Hi everyone, good evening again. So for this week, it's been pretty low-key. Because Thanksgiving is coming and there's a lot of people who will be staying. And if you know anyone who is staying over here over the break, we are providing like a few events. Dashu is hosting a bunch of like things. I know there's a cute thing up in Hedrick. There's a fireside like coffee chat with like marshmallows and stuff. So if you do know people who are staying through Thanksgiving, please like direct them to like our social media. We'll be promoting all those events in the upcoming days. Aside from that, I've just been working on our website. Like I told you, we're trying to get everything up by December 31st, and it's closing in on us along with finals. So we're just trying to get that done. But yeah, that's about it from my side for this week. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay. Now I'm moving into admin reports. I know Orlando isn't here. So we'll start with Jessica.
Hi, everyone. Just a couple things. First, I have an update from Lori. She asked if you all wouldn't mind sending her the appointments that are open and the application link so that she can share out to students within recreation, just to have another source of publicizing your open positions. So feel free to email that over to her. And then the other thing that I wanted to mention, so I think Patty may have mentioned this before she left, but we have a new programming manager for Student Union. Her name's Mary. So we may be reaching out to you all in the near future with, interest in possibly co-programming with some of your offices, different things we have happening in the union. So we just had a watch party this past weekend for the UCLA USC game. And we had over 250 students in attendance, which is really great considering the Rose Bowl was sold out and most folks went there. So, we're also looking for new ideas for programs that students want to see in the union, whether it be activities, watch parties, speakers, whatever ideas you all have. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you have suggestions or if you have an interest in co-programming with Student Union to put out activities and programs for students. And then upcoming next week, we're partnering with DashU to do some watch parties for World Cup. So we have one happening next Thursday on A level. So information will probably be coming out shortly through our social media channels. And as soon as I have more information, I'll also email it to you all so you have that on hand. So exciting things coming up, and enjoy your long weekend and take care, everyone.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I think you told me Steven wasn't here, right?
I didn't see him on tonight, so I don't think he's with us.
Okay, and Lori isn't on either. We'll go straight into Archie.
Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone is having a great evening. I'll keep it brief. I just want to let you guys know about office hours in Kirkhoff for the up and coming holidays. So for tomorrow, Kirkhoff will be closing at 8 p.m. and Thursday through Sunday, the hours of operation will be 9 to 5. And this is including any after-hour access, so no after-hour access, so strictly 9 to 5 Friday through Sunday, and closes at 8 tomorrow on Wednesday, and resume regular scheduled business hours on Monday. So that's all I got this meeting. I look forward to eating some turkey, and all of you guys eat some turkey for me who will be traveling. So thank you, and you guys have a great evening and a great holiday.
Awesome. Thank you, Archie. Appreciate it. Definitely looking forward to some turkey. All right. Okay, now moving forward, we don't have any old business or new business. So with that, we will be adjourning this meeting at 8:45 p.m.